Your baby's in the bouncer. You've got 5 things to do before noon, and she's happy for the moment, so you flip on a show in the background, just as noise, just so the house doesn't feel so heavy. Her eyes slide toward the screen. She goes quiet. You take that as a win. And you should, because you're doing your best every single day. But there's something happening in that silence that nobody tells new parents about. Something quiet, something that adds up. The habits that shape a developing brain aren't usually the dramatic ones. They're the ones that look completely fine. Most parents assume that hurting a baby's brain development means something obvious, a fall, a scare, something you know you were doing. That reasoning makes sense. It also keeps these habits invisible for years. The truth is, the most consequential windows for your baby's brain are the unremarkable ones, the routine moments that feel like background noise to us and feel like the entire world to them. In this video, 7 specific habits that are quietly working against your baby's brain development, not because you're failing, because no one told you these moments counted. By the end of this video, the ordinary parts of your day will never look the same. 1. Using screens to buy silence. It's 4 p.m. and you need 10 minutes of peace. You put on something colorful and calm. The baby stares at it. You get your 10 minutes. Most parents believe this is harmless, or at worst, neutral. They're not stimulating anything negative. They're just giving the brain a rest. But the science reframes this completely. Patricia Kuhl at the University of Washington found that babies' brains are neurologically incapable of learning language from screens. The same content that teaches nothing from a TV teaches everything when it comes from a human face. Every minute your baby spends watching a screen is a minute the brain waits for interaction that doesn't come. This isn't about guilt. It's about understanding what your face does that no screen ever will. Your presence is the lesson. There is no digital substitute for it. The show isn't keeping her company. It's keeping her waiting. 2. The TV that's always on. You're not sitting your baby in front of the TV. It's just on, in the other room, in the background, while you fold laundry, while you nurse, while you talk to her. Most parents don't count this as screen time. It's ambient. It's adult TV. The baby isn't even paying attention. Here's what's actually happening. Dmitry Christakis and Frederick Zimmerman at Seattle Children's Research Institute found that for every hour of background television, parents spoke significantly fewer words to their infants without realizing it. The TV didn't replace interaction, it just quietly crowded it out. Words spoken to your baby in the first year directly build neural pathways for language, memory, and attention. Silence isn't empty. For a baby, silence filled with your voice is everything. Anchor. It's not the show that's the problem, it's the words it replaced. 3. Responding to cries on your own schedule. She's crying. You know she's not hurt. You just fed her, just changed her. You'll get there in a minute. You finish what you're doing first. Most parents have been told not to spoil a baby by responding too fast. Wait a beat. Let her learn to self-soothe. This feels like reasonable, calm parenting. But the research tells a different story. Edward Tronick at the University of Massachusetts, Boston, showed through the still face paradigm that when a caregiver becomes unavailable, the infant's nervous system goes into genuine distress, not performance. Repeated delayed responses don't teach independence. They teach the brain that distress signals don't work, and that has consequences for emotional regulation years later. Responding quickly isn't creating dependence. It's building the neural architecture for trust. She's not testing you. She's learning whether the world answers. Every time you come, you build the part of her brain that believes help is possible. Stop for a second. 4 habits in, and none of them look like mistakes from the outside. That's the whole point. 4. carrying your stress into the room. You've had a bad day. You're exhausted, tight in your chest, running on nothing. You walk in and pick her up, and you smile, you try, but your body is somewhere else. Most parents think they're hiding it. The voice stays soft, the face stays kind. She doesn't know. What the science says changes everything. Megan Gunner at the University of Minnesota found that infants' cortisol levels mirror their caregiver's emotional state, even when no distress is visible. Your baby's stress system is calibrated to yours, not to your words, not to your expression, but to the biological signals your body is broadcasting. She can't understand your words, but she reads your nervous system fluently. You don't need to be calm. You need to tell her the truth and then come back to her. She doesn't need you to be okay. She needs to know you see her, even when you're not. 5. Talking at her instead of waiting. You narrate everything. You're good at this. The running commentary while you change her, dress her, feed her. You talk to her constantly. But watch what happens after you speak. Do you stop? Do you wait? Do you give her a beat to respond? Even if the response is just a sound, a look, a kick of her legs? Most parents talk to babies. Fewer parents talk with them. Jack Shamkov at the Harvard Center on the Developing Child identified serve and return interaction as the single most important builder of neural connections in the first year. It's not the talking that builds the brain, it's the back and forth. The pause you hold is the space where her brain learns it can participate. The conversation matters, but the silence after you speak matters more. When you wait for her answer, you teach her that her voice was always worth hearing. 6. Skipping the narration. You're rushing through the morning. Diaper, outfit, carrier, door. You're efficient. You're focused. You're not talking, you're moving. Most parents think narrating daily routines is optional, something you do when you have the energy, a nice to have. Here's what researchers found that changed the whole conversation. Betty Hart and Todd Risley at the University of Kansas spent years tracking the language spoken to infants and found that the number of words a baby hears in the first 3 years predicts language ability, reading comprehension, and cognitive performance years later. Not as a correlation, but as a direct mechanism. The brain is building itself from the words you say out loud. We're putting on your socks. That sentence is infrastructure. Every ordinary moment you narrate is a neural road you're laying down for her. She doesn't understand the words yet. She's building the brain that will. 7. Rushing her through boredom. She's lying on the floor, just looking at the ceiling. No toy, no stimulation, just existing. You feel the pull to do something. Hand her a rattle, sing something, fill the silence. Most parents see boredom as a problem to solve. Engagement means activity. Stillness means you're not doing enough. But the science points in the opposite direction. Adele Diamond at the University of British Columbia has shown that executive function, the capacity for focus, self-regulation, and flexible thinking, develops precisely in moments of open-ended, unstructured experience. When you rush in to fill the silence, you interrupt the process of a brain learning to direct itself. That quiet moment on the floor, that's not nothing. That's the brain practicing being a brain. Let her be bored. She's working. The empty moment isn't empty. It's the one she's in charge of. 7 habits, none of them dramatic, all of them daily. The screen that replaced your face, the TV that muted your voice, the cry you got to on your timeline, the stress your body couldn't hide, the pause you never held, the narration you skipped too soon. Every one of these is fixable. Starting today. We talk about brain development like it happens in specialized programs, in enrichment classes, in perfectly curated toys. But this is where it actually happens. In the 10 seconds before you pick her up, in the words you say while buckling her in the pause after she makes a sound, while you wait to see what she does next. The moments that shape your baby's brain look exactly like the moments you are about to rush through. You are not a parent who needs to do more. You are a parent who needs to know that what you already do and how you do it is the whole thing. She is becoming herself in the space between you. Don't let anything crowd that space out. If anything in this video made you stop and think, share it with another parent, because most of us are doing these things without knowing, and the only way that changes is when we actually know. Better Mommy exists for exactly this reason, to give you the science that should have come with the baby. And next time, we're talking about something that surprises almost every parent we tell, the one moment of the day when your baby is watching you more closely than any other, and it's not the moment you'd guess. See you then.